Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory 1.1 Experimental, where we have elevators, new decor items, and auto-connecting blueprints. And last time, we messed around with some of the new decor items in our nuclear power plant, finishing up some of the areas that needed a little bit of pizzazz. But since last time, I've actually adjusted some of the designs. A, make them a little bit better and more visually appealing, mostly by adding in better signage. And B, because apparently there is a problem with conveyor lifts that has been fixed, but word on the street it could cause problems in the future. So I wanted to redo everything and make sure we didn't run into those kinds of problems, because our power plant's gonna be complicated. And the last thing I want is for some bug to mess up anything. Apparently it shouldn't be too big of a deal, but, apparently it could have been. Where is all of my uranium? Now the big questions, are these bugs or are these little whoopsies by me? But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Raycon. Now life do be pretty crazy, and it do get busy, especially for your folks. So this Mother's Day, let your mom know that her hard work is appreciated by getting her a pair of everyday earbuds by Raycon. They have amazing noise cancellation in case she wants a moment to relax and recharge, or if she needs to keep focused on one of the 100 things on her to-do list. And the latest Raycon models will be able to keep up as well, since they have a 32-hour battery life and a quick charge function, where in 10 minutes of charging, they can store 90 minutes of battery life. And best of all, in a worst case scenario, Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy. But personally, I think they're great. I chose the rockin' green to go with my outdoor theme this year. But if you're buying a pair as a gift, there's plenty of options to choose from to customize them and make them more special. So go to buyraycon.com/kibitz to get 20% off site-wide. Brought to you by Raycon. Back to projects though. Our uranium is coming in mostly through drones, and the drones are just big chillin'. Why are the drones big chillin'? The drones are big chillin' because there's no fuel. Why is there no fuel? Do we actually have turbo fuel? Yes, we have turbo fuel, but we don't have canisters. Why don't we have canisters? Wait, we do have canisters. What is this? Oh, this is me going crazy. I accidentally disconnected a power line, then reconnected it, but it shut down the entire plastic production. But since it's such a complicated system, it's taking a little bit to warm back up. But the big thing is, it'll be fine. And we can get back to work on production. And oh my goodness, we are practically done everything. Only one step really remains, making the uranium fuel rods. Well, it's really two steps. We have to set up the rest of the reactors. We did a little bit of work adding in the water to them, but there's all the belt work to do as well. Getting the fuel in and getting the nuclear waste out. Which isn't too big of a deal, right? Right? Wrong. We have 142 reactors that we have to belt together here and keep them organized as well. So, a little bit of work. Oh, but wait a second. Satisfactory Experimental. We can use the new Blueprint Auto Connect feature, where instead of having to connect together blueprints, you can use the Auto Connect feature to lock them together and then build them wherever the heck you want. And we can use this in a million different situations, like the one we're about to enter right now. But to get the control rods in, we're gonna be making the uranium control rods over here. So we'll probably have them going this way. And we'll probably want the waste going out this way and then back over there. Sounds simple enough. We'll have splitters for overflow going in. We'll have emergers up here for waste going out. And because we have a merger and two entrances so close together, we can make a mini lift. Ta-da! Oh, doesn't really show visually until now. Mini lift. Unfortunately, in our blueprint, this won't really work. So we have to make this just tileable. And for now, in order to do that, you have to have some belts attached to the blueprint. So the game kind of knows, hey, this is where to auto-connect and lock to. And then later on, we'll have to run through all of this and do everything manually, making our mini lifts and whatnot. So that's a pretty simple design then. So over in the blueprint maker, we just do that again. And then we're off to the races. We just put this down. Auto connect is online. There we go. Lock them together with one click, drag it out. The belts are connected, and oh, look at that. It's trying to connect to the reactor. But if we place this down here, there's problems. Wait, please? Oh, we're good. Okay. Then after, I just run through everything and connect the mini lifts. After a little while here, most of the reactors are hooked together. And I say most because some of these reactors are going to be used for plutonium fuel rods, and then in the future, fixonium fuel rods, like the end game nuclear power. But no, most of this power plant, it's going to be using uranium fuel and making uranium waste, which is all mostly going to be brought here now. It'll go into the control room, and then the uranium waste will go back out this way for further processing into plutonium fuel rods. That's a later problem. First, we need our uranium fuel rods. And we're gonna be automating 50.4 of them per minute. And with that many fuel rods, we'll be able to run over 100 nuclear power plants, fully overclocked, which means that'll be 2,500, fully overclocked, times 100. Yeah, good amount of power there. That is, if we can get the system running. We have a very major problem that we're gonna be running into probably today. But first, we need to automate the fuel rods. And I love to automate things in manufacturers using our cool new manufacturing blueprints. I have this awesome stacked version that I've used for some other projects already, and it is great. All the inputs enter through down here. They're sent into 2 manufacturers, and then you're off to the races. No biggie, looks cool, big fan. But now, we're in Satisfactory 1.1, baby, and we have a new tool in the toolkit. Adding on splitters and mergers to conveyor lifts. So I want to try messing around and making this design even better. And just top of mind, one of the really cool things that we can do with manufacturers is we can have them really tightly packed together in an overflow system. That wasn't possible before, but now with these lifts, we can add in the lift, throw in the splitter right in there. Probably have to connect this together. I know you can't see it, but so long as you can hear the noises, it's working. And there you go. Then you can have your overflow system built all down here. So for example, we could have a stack of, that goes, I was gonna say to that, but apparently that doesn't work. And I want to have these stacked all forward. And then later on, what we can do is we could have a pathway going straight through the middle. Look at that. Just, oh dude, so good. But what is going on down here? I presumed we'd be able to like connect lifts to this. We can. They don't exactly work like floor holes, which I was expecting. So we can connect to that, but we can't like connect from the ground to it. It just passes through it. Okay, so we connect down here and what? It's being a little weird. Look, I don't want to build this whole blueprint design if it fundamentally won't work. I suppose we just have to set these up in a particular way. Like you'd have this built first, build that up next, and then do everything in that order so this actually works as intended. Very nice. Again, having that walkway through here, beautiful. Only problem with the blueprint as created right now is the fact that I don't have the room in the blueprint maker, at least the Mark II blueprint maker, to add in the output stuff, which kind of sucks because we're making so many uranium fuel rods, right? We're gonna need so many manufacturers, and if I have to add any steps in, that's like adding in hours. Although we'll probably do something like this in the future, not right now. I kind of already had a pretty big plan for our uranium fuel rods with our existing recipe we have here, because these bad boys are a very specific height. And I want to build them right next to our uranium drones here, pretty much in the same way we've built their encased uranium cells system here. And instead of this being like a big drone airport, just big chilling out here, we can instead make it into an entire uranium fuel cell complex. Just like this. So it's not exactly the same as the design we built over there, but thematically, it's very similar. Lots of greens, lots of drone manufacturers, and the same kind of pattern. We're still gonna box this into like a pretty cool building, but for the most part, this is how it's gonna look. What the heck? My free cam can't move infinitely far away from my body? Body, what the heck, dude? You have one job. It's to move and move it. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I have a couple mods I usually like to use, like permaday, so there's no nighttime, and also one called pack utilities that lets me get a couple cool camera angles. But for now, we're gonna do speed jumping from radar towers. But okay, had to build a lot of these bad boys. 34 manufacturers, in fact. So we have 28 there, and then I was able to build another 6 back this way. That means we have more than 34. It means we have 40 manufacturers. So a lot of these are going to have to be underclocked. But that's okay. Wait, that's not okay. Encased cells, beams. That's not the recipe I want to use. Okay, something is really messed up because I know for a fact we should have this alternate recipe unlocked. And I know you can get this recipe in tier 8 because I did it before. This is kind of weird because I ran into an alternate recipe issue before with distilled silica. Like I wanted to use this dissolved silica recipe, but I couldn't have it unlocked. Like off in the MAM here, we have all the alternate recipes. Like all hard drive scanned. Unable to scan hard drive. No rewards currently available. So where's my recipe? Well, crazy thing here. I was streaming over on Twitch and somebody's like, Kibs, did you check the recipe folder? I'm like, what do you mean recipe folder? The library. I'm like, what? Oh, the hard drive library. You see, in Satisfactory 1.0, when you scan a hard drive and you don't select a recipe, it goes to your library. So, and lo and behold, oh, what's down this way? Ah, quartz purification and the dissolved silica recipe I wanted earlier. And also, there's our uranium fuel unit recipe. My bad. It's my bad. I forgot this existed. We unlocked pretty much all of the alternate recipes really early on in the playthrough, and look, here we are now. All the recipes, good to go. And we have the recipes we need for our nuclear power plant. And don't you worry, we're gonna use that silica recipe in the future. I am going to force myself to use it because I think it's cool. But for now, the uranium fuel rods. And then just booping over to Satisfactory Modeler. It's a free program on Steam to illustrate how simple the belt work's gonna be. For this project, we already have all the items automated. We have 780 belts, so that can handle these 3. And then for the encased uranium cells, we only need to split that into 3 belts, which is actually what I've already done over this way. So the cells will come through here, go through these lines. There's already the 3 belts, and for now they go into awesome sinks. We'll just have to run them through a belt balancer, and then we're good to go. A belt balancer, by the way, just evens out the inputs into outputs. So 3 different belts of items can go into these splitters, and then out through these mergers will be 3 equal outputs. It doesn't matter how many items are here, there, or whatever. 3 belts on the other side will be exactly the same. And I've used a lot of these kinds of belt balancers in my previous playthroughs, and I'll be recreating a lot of them for this playthrough here, because we can build them a lot more efficiently. But at least for a 3-to-3, it's not too bad. Pretty much, you just need every splitter to connect to 3 different mergers. So for the top one, goes to the middle, goes straight ahead, and then off this way to the bottom one. Do that for the middle, goes to the other middle one, goes to the top one, and then goes to the bottom one down here. That's pretty much all the logic. These can get very, very complicated when you go from like 2 to 7 or like 2 to, I don't know, 14 or whatever. But 3-to-3, not too bad. We'll just put that blueprint down here. It'll balance everything out and then belt everything, oh, yeah, right to there. Yeah, not a problem at all. Barely an inconvenience. And because we have these conveyor wall holes, we can just have the belts go through walls wherever the heck we want. These are so nice. I love these. Actually, is it still around? Yeah, I have to show you this just super tangentially. But essentially, whenever the belts did not connect through like the initial wall holes that we had, I always did these finicky things where I just painted walls black to make it look like they're coming out of some kind of machine or something like that. And then I tried to hide it away. But now we can just replace all this nonsense and life is so much better. You know what? Another really cool thing is, just in case you have to clip things together, is with these wall holes, you can actually just clip through foundations, but make it look really, really good by having the walls there temporarily so you can place the wall holes, right? Put them down like so, because again, you need the wall there in order to place the wall holes. Put those through, get rid of the walls, and then if you have a belt going from like A to B, you just clip it through. But then it looks fine because you have the wall holes there, and it looks like it's actually properly done, and it's not clipping evil. But I digress, back to our factory here. The belts are connected. We only really had to worry about the encased uranium cells because we couldn't fit them all in one belt. So that just required me to do a little bit of weirdness. I had to split all these systems into 3 sets. So that's one set there. The 14 on the left and the 14 on the right are 2 other sets. So we have 3 sets. We have 3 equal belts, goes to each set. GG easy. And those belts for the cells are right there, ready to go. Which means we just need everything else. What's on the shopping list? Control rods, oscillators, rotars. Where are my goodies? Well, we know where the crystal oscillators are. They're right over here. We decorated the factory last time with all the new fun tools, right? So here it is. Crystal oscillators out the wazoo. And they all end up on the other end of the hallway. Where did I bring them? Oh, just through like a wall here? And we could bring them out here. Or I could bring these this way, like along the ceiling or whatever, who cares? Here, and this could be like a little logistics path. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll make it work, it'll be fine. Next on the agenda was control rods. Hey, control rods, what are you doing there, buddy? Come on down. It's time for you to fulfill your purpose. Connect to that, please. And there's just one last guest to invite. The rotors, which have been sitting pretty over in that building for, gosh, weeks now. Weeks and weeks and weeks. We automated stators and rotors together, like pretty much when we started this build. And so all the rotors, all 168 of them, have been building up in this bin right here. So we'll bring this up and then, uh-oh. Oh, not this, dude, I may have put maybe one too many belts in this area. Kibs, you know what time it is. Just boop it and fix the problem, okay? No problem at all, Kibs. Gotcha, man, I gotcha. Yeah, just brought the rotors just over this way, out and around all of the belts because this is scary. And then found a belt highway just to drag them on out. And as for the other items, we had all the room in the world. So I just dragged them back behind all these reactors out through this wall, and now all the friends are together. Yippee! They go scooting under here, underneath this other belt highway, through here, and into the factory, ready to make our fuel rods. I'm kind of nervous. There's something I haven't really talked about here. There's a handful of problems we have at our factory. In order to make our 50.4 uranium fuel rods per minute, we actually need Mark 6 belts in order to get pure nodes of resources into the factory. We don't have Mark 6 belts, so none of this is gonna work optimally, which is scary. You can already see it over here, where we're supposed to have a lot more sulfur, but because we don't have the belts, problems. That's problem 1 though. Problem 2 is I'm very short on power shards. We have 100, a little over 200 left in the whole world. Like that's it. I have collected literally every single power shard. So our reactors are not fully overclocked. But the worst problem of them all is we probably don't have enough power to actually turn on our power plant. You see, our max consumption, if everything's actually running, is almost 200,000 megawatts. And we're making about 84,000 megawatts. So once the whole plant is running, these numbers are probably not going to work out at all. Like all of these crystal oscillator manufacturers, they're idle. There's a lot of machines like this that are idle, most of which are fully overclocked as well, which will take up, you know, crazy amounts of power. So having all those idle machines come online, along with this next set of fully overclocked manufacturers, it could ruin us. But we gotta try. We're so close. It's either we ride or we die, brother. So everything should slowly get booted up. And to really test it out, we'll have everything go into an awesome sync. Ooh, and just for funsies, let's see what our throughput actually is. Again, this is not gonna be working properly because we don't have the proper belts and things. It'll still be neat to see how close we are regardless. At least that'll be a lot more fun to watch than our power graph here, which is already spiked like 10,000 megawatts. While we wait for the fuel rods to get built, let's do a quick little run around, see what's happening. Is everything actually connected? A lot of this is just overflow here. These machines are set, I think the ones on the end are set to 50%. The rest are just at 100%. Looks like we're good. Overclocked machines moving and grooving. Fuel rods automated. Love to see it. And there go some of our first ones. Do we get to catch them? Yes, we do. Our first uranium fuel rods. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be scary. Oh man, where are we already at? I haven't heard the breakers flip, so couldn't be all that bad, right? No, we're still around 75. And you know what? That's actually great. Oh my gosh, I was wrong. I was so wrong. Things needed more time to warm up, dude. We're screwed. Yep, the battery's flickering on every so often because things could not be tighter on the power front here. Pretty much with every couple swings, sometimes the batteries need to be used, sometimes they're getting charged. It could not be any closer than this. We are using practically every megawatt that we are producing. That's horrifying. Of course, like we can just switch on or switch off a lot of these machines, right? But if we're trying to boot up the nuclear power plant, then it's kind of like a catch-22. We need power to get more power, but we just don't have the power right now. There's a few options we could work around to make things work in the future. Like we could just set up a massive battery plant to kind of like kickstart everything. It'd have to be for like 30,000 megawatts. Like we'd have to triple the size of our existing battery banks. Because with everything running, like this max consumption could go out the wazoo. Because this is for the uranium fuel rods. We're gonna have plutonium fuel rods as well. And with the plutonium, we're gonna need all of this nitric acid, which is gonna be like the 48 blenders here and 100 other like resource wells and just so much more. It's gonna be like another 50,000 probably, if not more megawatts. Option number 2 is we could just make a little bit of nuclear waste, am I right? Just a little bit, right? We just store it in a box, it could be fine. Like after measuring our fuel rods here, we're actually making 42 per minute. So like, you know, 42, it's almost 300,000 megawatts. That'll get us through the day. Or even right now, it's saying there's only 30. Well, if it's 30 per minute, still 200,000 megawatts. Plus what we already are producing, then we're good to go. So we could just run the nuclear power plants. But let's even say that it is 30 nuclear power plants running. Each of those fully overclocked. Oh no, they're not even fully overclocked. Oh no, I don't even know now, I'm scared. Well, there is still option 3. Alien power, brother. I've collected all the Somers loops in the world, so we probably could build another, I don't know, 4 of these bad boys. Even just with one sitting around, that is a crazy amount of power. Like we're already making like 30,000, right? And oh, well that puts us in the black for sure, but it doesn't get us out of the woods. I don't know if I have enough Somers loops to really make that sustainable. So I'll think about it more, and I'll definitely appreciate any suggestions you may have in the comments below. But for now, we're gonna finish up this build because I like how it looks, and we just need to decorate it. And to do so, like I said earlier, we're gonna kind of copy a lot of the design aspects of our build over here, so it all looks like one big unit. And just to make things look extra special, we can have like some giant supports going on too. So we could add like these ramps, we can make them like coated concrete, paint them like super green, or maybe not. Maybe you could just make this look like a giant metal support like that. Much better. And then yeah, from here just borrow some designs. And thematically, I'd say that worked out pretty well. I did do some things differently. This was made in Satisfactory 1.0. This is in 1.1. We got some extra tools here. So first, of course, gotta use new beams. Look at those beams, brother. Looking good. We got some beams going across here. That'll be changed, don't you worry. But then the coolest thing that I did was in between the manufacturers, I messed around with some pipes. Now this whole system doesn't use pipes, but it doesn't mean pipes don't look cool, right? So I just added these aesthetic ones in, just to make it look like steam is being moved around. And then my favorite thing was I had the pipes go into these like fans. So it looks like the air is being vented out. Also, I gotta do a bigger version of this, but I made like a little radioactive pit here. Somewhere we'll have a giant version of that, but for now, little one, very cool. Also, to make this work was I used the pipe wall holes, put them into place there, and I made other pipe wall holes just attached over here. Nudged them into places wherever I wanted, have them go from A to B, do a little bit of painting, and there you go. Takes some time, takes some practice, but it turns out so well. And what's even better is once you get kind of a theme going, it's so much easier to add on to it. It's always the first initial designs that are really, really difficult. So we borrowed some concepts from there, made this pretty easy. Now we can use the same concepts to build the rest of this out. So we're gonna have this be an independent structure, and then we're gonna have a logistics area boxed in here, just so we don't have all the belts out in the open. Yeah, it's simple, but looks great. Continuing with the pipe designs, brought some out from this area, brought them into this build, had some just go onto this roof here. It looks pretty nice. Plus these vents with the pipes attached, this is my new favorite thing. I'm going to build these everywhere. As for the interior, not much going on. This is really just like a filler piece. This is the highlight, the drones are the highlight, and I didn't want this part to take too much attention. Pretty much the same design philosophy as I had with our nitric acid blenders over here. The blenders are the big highlight. The logistics stuff, put that into a nice little box, and it doesn't steal a lot of the attention. So now we have most of this built, leaving just that building behind here. This is a little tricky though. We are going to be adding a lot more to this power plant still. We have Fixonium to automate, we have Plutonium to automate. A lot of factories, a lot of belts. So I want to leave this space empty to bring logistics. Hence why this is going to be like an independent building. And you know, for this building, I have some pretty good inspiration for it. I was playing a bunch of Helldivers 2, right? Shoutouts to the Patriots of Populi 9. And now take your guesses for what inspired this build from that game. A lot of you probably got it. The gunship towers. It's like, oh, those look like really cool factories. So I tried to do like a little bit of a overhang bit. Didn't really overhang too much, but just like a different bit. And then I added on some more pipes to the walls. Also really fit with the themes we're going for over in this part, and a couple extra lights just for some pizzazz. I didn't really go too overboard with this build though, because again, we're gonna have like all these logistics things running through here, and maybe even underneath this platform. I just don't know yet. So maybe some of this will be reworked. But as for this side, I was like, oh, we're gonna be seeing this side a lot. Gotta make this look awesome. So big lights, cool like decals, some belts out. Yeah, very, very, very nice. We'll see how the logistics go down here, and then maybe I'll add in some more stuff. And as for the roof, I did it again. And I will never stop with these vents. I love them. They're so cool. And another great thing is as well, we somehow, by some miracle, landed at almost a perfect equilibrium. Like sometimes the power spikes and we use the battery a bit, but for the most part, the power is just barely holding on. That gives us a little bit of breathing room to figure out a proper way to address this. However though, that'll be for next time. But if you enjoyed, remember to subscribe for more. And until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.